Come in, old souls. Fellow empaths, seers, and psychonauts. It's time for the scrying. Come in and have a seat. Hello, old souls, fellow empaths, seers, and psychonauts. My name is Steph. If you are new, welcome.
Great.
If you're returning, welcome home. I feel like you're very loud. We're going to utilize the scrolls today. We're going to pull some out, see what shapes and symbols stand out, and speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on tarot and oracle. And as you've heard, where we have Mr. Ghosty here, we have Ghost 2 kicking for any audio editions from the afterlife that may further add to our abstract and ancient auric adventures. Overall, please do receive a release freely. But I want to thank you for your time, attention, and awareness, as your presence and perspective is powerful and warms my haunted heart. So when you're ready to go, let's go. Explore. Okay, if you're opening up with me, taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palate of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of fellow old souls, empaths, seers, and psychonauts, thank you for being my muse, and may we meet a message with meaning. All right, I'm just going to get rid of these. All right. You know the drill as well. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below, as your insights do expand the entire iScry experience. Or you can drop emojis, give it a like. Any interactions is appreciated.
You're welcome.
You think, yeah. Okay, I see you. Give me 1 second. I'm seeing Hershey's Kiss melting, like melting chocolate. But also, I think it's the Skeletor or something from He-Man. I don't know. I think it's from He-Man. There's somebody parachuting down. There's 2 people talking. I'll get to you in a second. I got to come in here. Okay, so this relates to specifically empath or empath energy. Psychonaut, seer, seeker, however you might be, but this is speaking to the empathic energy. And my insights before I was sitting down to get started was there's many masters among the many. There's also a Scottish male who could play the bagpipes. Like, I don't assume that all Scottish people play the bagpipes. So this person in spirit can play the bagpipes. And there was also somebody else on a bridge. Different male, more in relation to this kind of energy. If that means anything to you or to someone specifically, thank you for holding space. You know the comedian Carrot Top? Well, there's somebody with blue hair. I don't know if that's you or somebody else, or just simply the expression of emotion in the hair. Of like why one would dye their hair blue, or what it means, what it expresses.
Infant.
Okay. So the masters, what was it? Many masters among the many. Because it's like 2, do I want to say 2? I'll start with 2 because it immediately starts to flip. Like, I don't need to explain it to you. There's a graduation. It's a blue fire, blue flame, if that means anything to you. I know we're in a blue Inkbot here, but I don't. Okay, so it's like, you know how there's trial by fire, whatever the case is. Fire and air. There's something that's been, it's the masters thing among the many. And when I say many masters among the many, it's like the many like the many is the public, us walking around. Masters in the making. Masters of the universe. Is that He-Man? Masters of the universe. Curious. Oh, I'm shaking everything. I shake the world. And maybe you are shaking things up, but there's something about that. There's something about a blueberry.
Are you scared?
No, not at all. There's also enlightenment happening. Somebody in spirit, this could be a birth guide or somebody that you would, we, indifferently all the same. So it's like their eyes are welling up in, it's like seeing somebody at graduation, say from a traditional school system, right? But it doesn't even have to be that, but there is something about graduating into that, graduating into something. It could be a channel of your career, your personal life, romantic, platonic, the yada, yada, yadas, all the channels that are here in the material world. They are not to be poo-pooed upon. They are tools of the trade to bring about and explore more of the energy system in its different forms. But there's something about like becoming like a master tradesman of some sort. And I have a feeling there's something about this going on, but there's also a handing off. Yeah, there's a handing off. And here's the interesting thing. This handing off is bringing me into now being an apprentice. So where one might feel masterful, are handing something off or are being handed something to become an apprentice now, which fuels the master vibe, master of the universe. I'm going to keep going. Anyway, there's a spirit. And when I say spirit of, without trying to define, not just in the afterlife, but angelic realm. Maybe it's even like ascended mastery. I feel like there's another term that almost isn't acknowledged or I just don't know. And that's okay. It's kind of like the all. I think it's the all. And they are welling up watching you get like this diploma of sorts, but at the same time, it's like a contract, a new page to begin the apprenticeship of something. You're following in the footsteps. See, here's the thing of it might feel like the few.
You don't understand.
It might feel like the few, but there are many more. But it's in this individuality of expression that seems like it's not, like you might maybe sometimes feel very alone. And as old souls, I think there's a certain
deep
solace. It's important, to have that balance of working with the many collectively, spiritually, emotionally, even psychonautically, or psychedelically, right? There's a balance of coming back in that importance of integration time, because if the integration is swept aside as not important or not fun, right? Not as fun or as interesting as everything else. But that is kind of the key that turns everything. And then I can hear all that click, 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 click. And then something opens. There's something going on in here. Squeeze me. There's a conversation between two hooded people. They're feminine in nature, I believe. It's kind of bringing me into the movie Dune. Like they have garbs. It kind of feels like these cloaks of sorts. It feels like a comrade. Okay, I'm also in like parachuting school or something like that. I don't know if there's an influx or an influx of souls incarnating in. Okay. Or you might resonate with the term closely known as indigo children, now indigo adults, indigo elders. And in turn, like that information, even energetically, or the imprint of such being handed down to other generations, it's like this whole thing, like, millennials, Gen X, this, that, or the other. But everything's being handed down, but also handed forward. It's alchemizing ingredients. So as it's like these two generations of sorts. Do I want to say generations?
Lady.
Generator, maybe generators. There's also a Mickey Mouse kind of thing going on here. And something about a dome opening. Okay, so this dome opening, this could be in relation to the curvature of maybe consciousness of the earth as an element in all. I'm not really sure, letting things in, allowing things in. Because these parachuters, like when the souls come in, or you might resonate with being an indigo child or an empath, etc., that has led you on a psychonautic seeking seer path of seeing things differently, seeing people's energy, or seeing the spirit of a home or the residual, the yada yada yadas. And when you parachuted kind of in type thing, I'm going to go with that. Even that essence of expression was integration. Like, you being here is integration right here. And there's a leveling up to master of the universe. Oh, do I want to say leveling up? I don't know. Yeah, see, Five of Swords. I don't know that I want to say that. And Four of Wands. You know me, I read the art, so if any of this is standing out to you,
No thanks.
You know, you do you. Okay, so it is a leveling up. Here's the thing, it's like something about old souls are very aware that mastership is not necessarily a leveling up or down, this, that, or the other. It's space. It's more like, how do I express that? Okay, so I can say leveling up, but not to imply the human concept of measurements and metrics that would indicate up is good and down is bad. This is, I don't want to say zigzag, but I think I'm going to go that way. It's like a free fall. Thank you. It's like a free fall, because you also have the ability to float. And like a balloon, there's the fire, hot air balloon, there's the fire and the different gases in this earthly basket and these colors, but they all work together to kind of have this experience that moves. I don't even know. It's like 3-dimensionally within the 3D. Does that, yeah. Okay. Can you follow me without getting too sciencey on me? Because it's like 3D in the 3D, which is bringing me to 6D. And there's some sort of like math about that wouldn't make sense in 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. It's maybe like 3 squared. Oh, I'm so far out of my element here. Okay, but I can just envision it. It's like having 3D glasses on, watching the movie of life as we go through it, but then another set of 3D glasses, 3D glasses, 3D glasses. And we can like, or maybe you can like change them out accordingly to the best view. I feel like you can kind of sense these parachuters come in because they're familiar from like the indigo child space, now being an indigo elder. As the example, you don't have to hold on or latch on to that, but just as the example. And they are taking the lead that has been left for them. So this is where it kind of comes into the pathing. It's like one might feel alone or lonely in that path, but that is actually serving. It very much so serves. So that when one steps into the open field where many masters in different ways, one is solid in their own foundation of sorts and can then structurally expand out. Because now I'm seeing like one of those toys. I think I was when I was a kid. I don't know if I had one or if I'm just seeing it. It does like this. I think it's like all almost like a slinky, but it's not a slinky. Like it's like some weird dimensional thing. Yeah. Okay. So with the four of wands, and it might mean something to you. So I gotta work through the conflict of almost like ego, but not poo-pooing ego, because there's an emotional ego. I think this is where I'm feeling it's an emotional ego. Maybe this is something from the collective you're sensing as people are learning and at all different stages, including oneself, right? Learning different emotional intelligences, emotional ecosystems. But here's the thing, it's like the fire and the air. They're closer together so they can get, muddled really, I'm going to say quickly, where you almost like can't see where one begins and the other ends to help identify. Parachuter, teacher arrives. That whole saying, the teacher arrives when the student is ready. Not when they egotistically, without maybe even without knowing, in ego space. And again, I'm not poo-pooing the ego. It's fantastical and has its place in its partnership in all of this. But this is the earthly ego of the brain or the mind saying, I'm ready. From one lens. It is but from one lens. So then there's this emotional ego that comes in and says, okay, well, are we in conflict?
Pathetic.
Or are we in a team spirit here? Masters of the universe. Masters of the universe. You know those kind of clips, if you put like on your keychain? What kind of clip is that? Like it looks almost like an ear. It's called something. And I don't know, they kind of like fold over. So all you have to do is like press that thing and then it opens up. Like I feel like mountain climbers might use it and they can like, is it like called a C-clip or something? They can just like clip into things. I'm seeing one of those. The devil. Yeah, I knew I was going to come into him. I say him, but that's... Okay, give me a moment. What's on the bottom? Six of Wands. Something's been slain. So you know how in cartoons, Smurfs and the Gargamels... Smurfs. Yeah, Smurf and the Gargamel. Gargamel, singular. Whatever the case is. They never seem to get their villain. But there's always lessons being taught, but are they integrated? I don't know why this integration thing is such a thing, but maybe this is what is feeling right now amongst the collective and you're noticing old souls. And it's kind of like you got to watch and you got to feel this because there's an opportunity to... It's in that master thing again. Master your trade or something along that lines. Oh, I see you. Dragon dogs, merge a dragon and a dog together. There's also a whale. This whale looks like a big chicken drumstick. Two heads are better than one. I see the goats here with the devil. So there are controlling conditions that you're probably aware of, depending on which layer of 3D glasses I'm in and where your focus is. It might even be dependent on what you're looking at or who you're interacting with. Like work, you might have certain lenses on. You might take other lenses off because you're like, it's a waste of my energy to have these lenses on. So in that Skeletor energy, and then there's like this really strong arm kind of feel that's happening over here. Oh, this is you. Okay. So this energy is very, very protective. And it's like I'm holding these dragon dogs as my pets. Yeah, we're here for old souls coming in with the journey. That Hershey's kiss is melting again. Okay, so this is the way I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick with empathic energy. Please apply it however you might relate in your specialty or the way you energetically, emotionally, etc. essentially experience things. It's like some empaths, seers and
Fly.
psychonauts, yeah, come down like that parachute, very air. Others specialize in water, but still in the spirit of emotional, energetic, earthly essence expressions. Others come in with, they're like a fire empath. And maybe you can, I don't know how these words go together or their association. I have a feeling this is kind of not for me to worry about. I'm getting the sensation that it's those the this coveted conversation in here. It's a coveted conversation. Yeah. And imagine if you're like walking a solo path in some regards. And then you come out to this clearing or a channel or a building, a job, a family, and you are welcomed in and you're seen. And I'm not talking about like, oh, there could be, but just by listening and being there amongst the energy. But people are coming in from the sky. People are coming in from the water. People are coming in out of a fire portal. People are coming in and up out of the earth. This is what this feels like. Woo, little man, you scared the bejeez out of me. All right. I'm going to add on another one. And then we will head over to the flip side if you're part of the Secreteur Society. Okay. Thank you, my love. And we'll get into the extended. We have here the Maestro. It's like this. Okay. Maestros and masters, maybe masters of maestros. I'm not really sure. Little man, thank you. My love, you're so sweet. But one more card and then we'll head on over to the flip side.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? And then we have Ascension here. And this is going to take us over to the flip side. If you're joining us, the link will be below. With little man here. Look at him. He's just got to get all up involved. Hey, you little master of the universe. All right. Thank you so much. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. If you're going to head on over to the flip side, I will see you there. And if not, old souls, I will see you next week. But I got to say, keep up on your masterwork. It's working. It's working. And it might work in mysterious ways, but that is almost the beauty of it. The invisibility of the space between the maestro person and the whole band, the many masters of their instrument. They can play different instruments, whatever the case is. And I love it. I'll see you then. Bye.